I took a creator from 1K a month to 46K a month, primarily by selling customs. In that time, we sold around 70, 80 customs, and it all comes down to how we pitch them to subscribers. What we used to do is just wait for a sub to go, I want a custom, I want to see X, Y, and Z, and then we sell it to them. But winding back the clock, we hired this killer chatter whose primary strength is just pitching customs to everyone and selling them, right? And it's a strange science how she does it, but I've done my best to try simplify it. So hopefully I can help you implement this in your agency, because it's weird, but it's ridiculous how well this works. So here are just some frameworks or things to consider about how we pitch customs. So the first thing we want to do is talk to the creator and just get 1 to 3 simple video concepts that they'd be happy to make for customs. So obviously always make sure a creator is comfortable making something before you sell a custom. But we just want to talk to them and go, hey, what videos would you be comfortable making if we just start selling a lot of customs, right? It's always going to be something like this, right? Once you've got that, something to remember throughout this whole pitching process, the key is we want to be vague. We want to shy away from details. This may be surprising, but we usually sell customs without telling the sub what it's going to be of specifically, how long it's going to be, or when it's going to be done by. And we still sell it, right? The 2 driving forces of what is going to close this deal is it's exclusive. So this is a video, I'm doing something I haven't really done before, whatever. And it's sentimental, us doing this is going to bring us closer together, the creator and the sub, right? Try to appear inexperienced. A good tip for that, just don't act like you've always done it before. We don't like to say custom, because that makes it just seem like, oh yeah, I'll just sell a custom. Like, oh, I've done this before. We kind of don't want that. It's going to help. Now, this is where it starts getting, you just have to bear with me. We need to use really passionate, cheesy, corny language. I'm not really a passionate, cheesy, I don't know, but I'm not really a passionate guy, right? So I'm not naturally good at this, but that chatter I'm talking about is, right? I'll give you some examples later though. We're selling the idea, we're not selling the video. And it's all going to make sense in a second. So how do we know who to sell customs to? I believe you can sell customs to pretty much anyone using this strategy, but I would look here first, right? Subs who really enjoy sexting, they get really into it, there's a lot of those. Subs who have bought 2 sequences, haven't complained about price, just sort of go through it, they're happy, right? Whales and big spenders that are already existing, obviously. Subs that have niche preferences or are a bit picky with what content they buy. Now, that may seem a bit contradictory because I said be vague and whatever, but this does work when you want to sell a niche video like that. I just say at scale, it's better to have those videos you've agreed upon with the creator so you can just pump them out, right? Now, this one I feel a lot of people neglect, and that's subs who are already in buying mode. Let's say a sub has bought a $700 sequence, they've gone through the whole thing, they've just bought everything and they're happy with it, right? And they're still going. A lot of people will pull back and go oh, he's already spent so much money. I'll usually say okay, sweet, can we sell him a custom? Just capitalize on it, because he's in buying mode now. Tomorrow, he may not be, right? It's good to get them when they're already buying. So now we can actually get into pitching, right? And the first thing that we do is we start to talk about, we call it the history, right? So we'll say something like, oh, the other day I was back reading our chats and it made me want to do things, right? You just want to get them talking about it, get them interested. Don't give away too much. Just sort of seem mysterious, right? Next thing is we want to inflate their ego a bit and act like they have a special effect on the creator, right? So we want to make them just think oh, because of you, I started thinking things, right? And this is what I was saying about the passionate language. If you're just going to go, oh, the things you say make me think about you a lot, and just be dry, it doesn't work. The passionate language is what seems feminine. It makes you seem into it, and it gets them genuinely excited. So you're just going to have to bear with me. I know it's weird. right? Now, to not make this seem like a load of garbage, like just saying, oh, you have this special effect on me, you make me think all these things. You want to use specific examples from the chat. So this is why it helps if they've bought a sequence or, there's been like a sexting session. We want to reply to something they've said or brought up and act like, that was the hottest thing ever. And like, you can do it a few times. So like, reply to the message saying like, it was mostly when you said this, right? And what we want to do is use examples that are going to tie in with the type of video. So we have our agreed upon video with the creator. Whatever's relevant to that video from the sexting, we're going to reply to it and act like, oh, you've got me thinking about things I would never usually think about. Like it has to be corny like that. That's how it works. Don't ask me, it just works. So before we sell a sub anything, we find it most effective to get them aroused first, because it's going to make them more impulsive, more likely to buy. But how do we get them excited about this idea, right? So we want to paint a scenario, but if we're going to sell any random video, we want to leave our options open, and that means being vague. So how do we get them excited while being vague? Using these passionate buzzwords like this is going to help. Saying, I'm just thinking about losing full control for you, or I just want to show this other side of me that I never have before. It doesn't matter. It's just learning to say all this cheesy garbage, because that's what it is, without giving away details, right? And keep in mind, there's no mention of the video yet. We're just talking about this idea. It's what the creator wants to do because of the sub, what the sub has said, whatever, right? It makes me want to do blah while thinking about you. And that could be anything. If it's a striptease video you're going to sell, you could hint, oh, it makes me want to strip while thinking about you, and so on. So we've introduced this idea. The sub doesn't quite know where we're going with it. They're all intrigued, but they're excited about it, so that's great. How do we actually move in and sell this video? So up until this point, there should have been no mention of a custom, a video, I want to sell you something. Nothing like that. It's just the idea. And the reason for that is we want to frame this as we're not just selling a custom, we're selling this grand idea we've been building up to, something I've never done before, something else, more exciting. Even though it is a custom, it's just how we're framing it, right? So we want to start to drop hints, saying things like, I can't believe I'm actually thinking about doing this. And they'll be going, oh, thinking about doing what? What is it? What is it? But we want to seem nervous and excited to just make it seem more special, right? To the creator. Make them seem reluctant almost. Now, it's time to actually drop that it's going to be a video. Saying, I can't believe I'm saying this, but what if I captured all of this in a special video? So to help understand how we would actually go about dropping the price, I've taken a direct example from that chatter. So she said, you better keep an open mind then. Don't say I didn't warn you, ha ha ha. So I'm gonna say fuck it. I wouldn't mind doing it for 400 because I'm just as intrigued. This one's gonna blow my mind before it blows other parts of me, ha ha ha. Do you see? It's not just, oh, I'll sell you a custom for 400. It's this grand idea, right? It's just how we frame it. Keep in mind, notice how she said, I wouldn't mind doing it for 400. So we've now framed that price drop as we're doing the sub a favor with the price. I wouldn't mind doing it for 400. Now, when we're dropping the price, we like to always leave room for negotiation. There's probably a minimum price you've agreed on with the creator, so it's worth their while. We always aim to drop the price higher than that. So best case scenario, the sub will just buy it, or they're gonna negotiate it down and we'll get to the price we were expecting anyway, and they feel like they got a bargain. Naturally, some subs are gonna be easier to sell than others. Some you'll just drop the price and they'll go, yep, sweet, and tip it. Some are gonna want more information, right? So, if they ask for details, let's say they wanna know how long the video is. Now, we could just say, oh, it'll be 4 to 5 minutes. But that seems like we've done it before. It's not really exciting. we want to steer away from giving those details because that locks us into stuff when we come to produce the video. We want to just make it open-ended so the creator can just make it how they want to make it, right? That's the goal. So instead of saying that, we could say something like this, leaning into that passionate stuff. I mean, this is going to be pretty intense and wild. I've also not done it before. However, I'm sure I won't be able to stop, right? Answered the question, it's exciting, but we didn't actually give any details. Now, if they're really iffy about the payment, they think it's too much money, what we like to do is always add value before lowering the price. So, what we can use for a special request like this is a pay-per-view payment. So instead of just saying, oh, tip me 400, we could send two $200 pay-per-views saying, oh, well, I'll even do this because I'm so excited. I'll send this content you can have right now while I get on starting this wild ride with you. Whatever, right? That's just gonna like sweeten the deal a bit. It's not gonna work every time. Subs are just gonna go, I actually just am not prepared to spend that much money. It's up to you whether you'd like to negotiate or not, but that's why we leave room for negotiation in case. If they really say, I have no money, we can just lock in a deposit, say, okay, well, tip 100, and then, we're locked in because don't let me change my mind because this is such a big deal, whatever, right? And that's going to get them in the door and it's going to be easy to get them to pay the rest later. To summarize, we're going to choose 1 to 3 simple video concepts we agree on with the creator that we can use each time we sell a custom. So that means all they're going to have to do is just make the same video, but just say a different name each time. It's going to keep it really simple, right? When we're introducing the idea to the sub, we want to use specific examples of what they've said. That could be from sexting sessions, when you've sold them sequences. Just inflate their ego and make them feel like stuff they have said has given the creator this wild idea, right? Perhaps the most important part, that passionate language is what is going to make this really effective. It's hard to do, but just look at those examples I showed you and see if you can slowly integrate it, right? We want to stay vague. We don't want to give too many details away as it's going to make it easier to sell them these generic videos without them getting into, oh, I want this, I want that. It's also going to make it more mysterious and intriguing. We want to sell the idea, not the video. For most of the pitch, we shouldn't even mention, I want to sell you something, custom, video, nothing. Only drop that when it's close to the time you actually close. When we drop the price, we want to frame the price as we're doing the sub a favor. Remember I was saying, oh, I wouldn't mind doing it for 400. This also comes into play when we're doing our negotiation, as you need to frame it like you're doing them a favor and trying to help them watch this video or experience this with you, however you want to put it. If you seem like you're just desperate to make a sale, it's going to kill the magic, not be exciting. When you do drop the price, leave room for negotiation, so you probably have a minimum price with the creator. You want to go above that, so if they negotiate, you can still sell it, right? And if they're really unhappy with the price, you want to add value by selling pay-per-views instead of getting them to tip, rather than lowering costs. Lower the cost if you need to. And this, while this isn't in our control, it's definitely worth considering. Fast turnaround time for customs will lead to repeat customers. We've sold the same sub 3 customs in a week before. As long as that turnaround time is quick, they'll come back. If you take one thing away from this video, make it be that the reason this works so well is because we are framing this video as something new and exciting. It's not just a custom, which is boring. Subs have heard it before. It's this big, new, exciting thing that is intriguing and mysterious, and that's what gets them to buy. Maybe one day I'll sell enough customs where I can buy a new marker that actually works.